Hello, everyone, and welcome to Exploring Awesome. I'm hypnotist Jim Kellner, and on each episode, I explore tips, tricks, and strategies to help you and me to live a more awesome life. I am super stoked today because I'm joined by really just a longtime friend of mine and just a colleague and just, a really all-around swell fella. Everybody give it up for Kori Just.
Yeah, you froze up a little, so I wasn't sure what you said about me. Hopefully it was good.
Yes, I said great things. And please notice the haircut, so it's important. Just so you all know, Kori Just is he's an actor. He specializes in interactive improv, and he can be seen performing live with his troupe Events on the Edge. So if you get a chance, if you see that advertised somewhere, be sure and check it out. I used to be involved with that organization too. We go way back to the Spirit of Washington dinner train, where we did murder mysteries, and we've done a lot of what was the name of the now I can't remember. What was the one, the mafia, the mafia?
Well, forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it. That's right.
Used to be forget about it. Now it's Meet the Biscottis.
Meet the Biscottis. And I got to tell you, folks, if they do this show, we're starting to open it with live events again. If they do this show and you're in the area, check it out. It was one of the funnest shows I've ever been involved with. Go check it out. You can also check out a couple of his movies. Kori is an actor and an improviser. You can check out Bullets, Blood, and A Fistful of Cash, and The Chocolate War, among others. He had a really breakthrough moment. This is why I wanted to invite Kori on today, because Kori used to be really heavy. Top the scales at 240 pounds, and we were both the chubby fellas in the troupe. We were.
Well, we played the same parts. I mean, we were understudies for each other. So yeah,
we were interchangeable. So same haircut, same body style, everything. So he did a movie, and this movie, seeing himself on film, Fatal Encounters, he realized that he had to make a change. Kori, can you tell us about you? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Just I'm plugging away, keeping working. So when the pandemic hit, a year ago, I had about 5 sources of income that dropped off. Yeah. So I went out there and got some other work. I'm working at a grocery store late at night. Now the other jobs are coming back, but I don't want to quit jobs I have now. So I'm just working like crazy. Yeah.
Working like crazy. Good for you. Kori, and really, I want to talk a little bit about. So some of you, if you've watched the show before, I've sort of transitioned this year into really focusing on physical health. We just talk about we talk to all kinds of people, different topics, different areas, but I'm really focusing on physical health this year because I really think the physical health is the most important thing we can do for our overall success in life. And it comes in some very basic stuff. Of course, the longer you live, the more successful you can be, but also because of the energy level that comes with being in better shape, more focus, and so there's really a lot of good reasons for that. And also, I'm kicking off a challenge in my group. Where's that at? Let's see. In my group, if you want to join that, we're kicking off an exercise challenge. You'll be able to win some free stuff. We do challenges periodically. Facebook.com/groups/healthy living, the mental game. So please do join. We'd love to see you over there. Kori, you were probably one of the least healthy people besides myself that I'd ever met in my life. Kori and I went on a a lot of times people think that you're just kind of born with this. People are just kind of born and raised healthy, and you may be raised healthy, but sometimes we go astray. Kori and I actually, we went on a road trip together. It was about 10 years ago now, right?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
About 10 years ago. And I was doing a comedy run, and back when I was being a comic, which wasn't great. And Kori came along too. Kori, can you tell us about the kind of the lifestyle that you were living at that time?
Okay. So, first of all, I live in Seattle, and I don't like coffee. And, I don't like coffee at all, but I loved caffeine at that time. So Mountain Dew was a thing I did. And I drank probably about 3 liters a day. Because you remember me in the car, I was just shaking the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then, I didn't like to cook or anything like that. So Jack in the Box was basically my main. Just say it's me.
Right.
I'll take the usual, and they knew exactly who it was, and they knew exactly what I wanted. So
Right.
I do that about 3 times a day. So yeah, it wasn't really the healthiest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I
remember
remember
when.
that. What's that?
No, well, because when I visited my parents when we went on that road trip, and when we were leaving, my mom bought us, what was it, the double
Oh,
Whoppers. I like 2 each,
right. Yeah.
but
3 each or something. Yeah.
yeah, he said no way. So that was forced to eat more. I mean, I don't want it to go to waste.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was my
Yeah.
lifestyle at the time.
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember we had a good time at the buffet over there in Walla
Oh,
Walla.
it
We
was
killed
awful.
that.
Well, see, that's one of my kryptonites is pizza, and it was a pizza buffet. And I mean, even today, I'd still probably go a little crazy.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I
in
understand.
the morning though, they have the bacon buffet though. So I mean,
Oh, that's right. Oh,
yeah,
we did get the breakfast buffet, didn't we? Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
The,
yeah,
the hotel. Good times. Good times. So,
yeah.
so Kori, you were just going along. Was this your kind of your lifestyle? I mean, did you play sports when you were younger? Were you active in anything? Exercise at all when you were a kid?
No, not really. I mean, my belief was that we're not going to live that long, so why not enjoy everything you can? And everything I could was food.
Yeah. Right.
And
Right.
exercise just didn't seem fun. It seemed more like a chore.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So what happened? Because then now I don't even know what you're up to these days. I know you're working a lot, so I don't know if you're, and there's been, the pandemic and there's,
Mhm.
weather and stuff. So I don't know what you're, but I know for a while you were down, I think at Richmond Beach, climbing the stairs like every day and being and seemingly excited about it. Can you talk about this, about what happened? What did you do with Kori?
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the beginning of when it was. So it was about 2013 when I saw myself on Fatal Encounters, and you have an image in your mind about what you look like,
Yeah.
and then I finally saw myself on TV, and it wasn't what I thought I looked like. I mean, it was pretty bad. So I decided, I walked around the blocks, and I figured, man, I must have walked 5-6 miles. I mean, because I was exhausted, and then I finally looked it up on the maps how far I went. I think it was about 1.5 miles. And it was bad.
Mm,
But so I was talking to my friend or our friend Gary about that, and he goes,
yeah.
"Well, at least you tried." And that kind of pushed me because I'm going like, well, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to just try. I'm going to succeed. So I
Yeah.
went out there every day, just started walking, and I got farther and farther. So it's eventually like 8 miles a day, and then we moved. So I came down here to Richmond Beach, and they had the stairs there, and it's 188 stairs. And stairs are a little bit different beast than just walking.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can get you out of breath. But people are down there all the time. So I started off doing like 4 sets a day. Eventually, it ended up to about 10 sets a day. But every
Wow.
Christmas, I would try to break my record. So I haven't walked the stairs in about a year, just because of
Hmm.
the pandemic, and you never know what's happening. I did 4,200 stairs that day, and then
Wow.
there was a yeah, I know. There was a little bit of a confusion because I went with my girlfriend to visit another friend. They decided to go see the movie Cats, which is a musical. I'm
Yeah.
not into musicals, and I hear that even people that like musicals didn't like that movie. So after doing the 4,200 stairs, they dropped me off at the theater, and I walked 8 miles back home. So
Wow.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Amazing.
but it's all fun. I mean, because still when I was doing it, when I within 5 minutes of starting to walk, man, I didn't want to stop. So once you get into that habit, it's actually easy.
It's such a great point, and that's it's people. Oftentimes, I think that when especially when we're starting, because I had a similar thing happen for me. I remember I started with a 5-minute walk, and I got done and was like, oh my god, I can't believe, and I was bored. I can't believe it was. I went around the block. It took me like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, this sucks. It's horrible. Oh, and of course, my feet hurt, but my feet hurt just walking across the floor to the refrigerator because 240
Right.
pounds, of course. But after a while, it really does. Like even now, like I get up and I go for a walk first thing in the morning, and I look forward to it. And even those days I don't look forward to it, if I can just get out the door, that's all I got to do. If I get out the door, it becomes easy. It's like, oh, it's no big deal now, you know?
Well, and the thing is, I do it in the morning too. And what it helped me do is that if you do it right in the morning, you've actually accomplished
Yeah.
something. And when you accomplish something, you feel better. And
I couldn't agree more because, this is, and I think people have to figure out what's going to work for them. Some people would rather exercise at night. And believe me, I'm not a morning person. I've never been a morning person, but I do find that, if I do it first thing in the morning, I've got a jump start. I feel like I'm doing, like I've already accomplished something. The other thing is I'm not trying to work it in later. And I always found that was difficult. If I'm trying to, well, when am I going to do it? Am I going to do it at noon or at 4? What if something comes up and things, things come up, right? So I love that.
and then
First thing in the morning.
if it's later in the day, it also gives you an excuse. Like, well, I'm kind of tired. Maybe I can just skip today. And and
Exactly.
excuses are what kill you. So
They really are. They really are.
Yeah.
So, what kind of, so it's, and it really is. So I think a lot of times when people look at this, they think about, oh, I got to go and I've got to exercise for, half an hour or whatever. And really, folks, if you just focus on getting started, if you go outside, you walk 10 steps, you really still hate it, go on back in the house, fine. But most people, I don't think they will. I think they'll keep going. Really. So I think it's important. What about the food? Because I remember and we might circle back to the exercise thing too, but I'm really curious about, because you were, if people can be addicted to Mountain Dew, you were, I don't think I saw you drink anything except Mountain Dew the whole time. There was no water, there was no juice, there was no, it was Mountain Dew.
Yeah. And it's still, I have an affinity for it. So I'll treat myself maybe once or twice a year to it. But I used to have at least that much a day. And that's probably the biggest part out. If you cut out the soda, just even doing that is going to help you a long ways. So right there. It's all, especially Mountain Dew when you're talking about all that sugar and everything else. So,
right.
But, you find out that that caffeine, it'll get you going right away, but then you burn out on it, and then you need more and more. Once I've kind of cleaned that out of my system, you just start drinking water. That's basically all I drink now is water. Wow. And water wakes you up, So
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's my
Water wakes you up.
Well, yeah, water, yeah. That's like my caffeine. Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great switch around. Great switch around. Now, I know, that's one of the things that I always found when I was working in the clinic and working with just a ton of weight loss clients. I still work with weight loss clients, but back then it was about 99% were weight loss clients. I remember at least well over half of them, their biggest challenge was, I got to have something else to drink. I can't just drink water. It's too boring. And I remember at the time thinking, what is boring? It doesn't have to be a party, right? It doesn't have to be a party now. So, but Kori, so what do you tell people if they're like, well, that's just boring. The water's boring. What would you tell them? Any tips?
Well, let's be honest. It's kind of true. Water is boring, Yeah. But nowadays they have all that, like the sparkling water that's out there. They have the flavored water. They have, even got one of those soda streams, that you can get the carbonation in the water. You can options out there.
Yeah.
I even saw now that
is that your trick?
Water.
Oh no! Look out!
Yeah, I know.
Do you drink a lot of sparkling water, or is it all flat?
It's about half and half.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I agree. That helps me a lot. If I'm wanting something a little bit different, having some sparkling water, LaCroix, and even Kroger has their own brand of sparkling water, flavored even, so you can have some flavor if you like too.
Oh yeah, because they got that bubbly out there. You have all the way from like cherry, sour apple. Sour apples are great. Yeah.
Oh, is it? I haven't tried that one. That's nice. Oh, and that's the bubbly.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Great. Hey, folks, if you're out there and you're listening right now or watching, feel free to comment below. Go ahead and enter the chat, ask questions or anything like that. I do want to let you know, depending on where you're watching, because we're broadcasting to YouTube and Facebook, I may not see your comment till later. So I do want to let you know that. So if I don't reply, it's not because I'm mean, although I am mean. And hey, I'm a huge believer in hypnosis. If you want to try hypnosis for free, please check this out. Go to JimKellnerHypnotist.com/ free-hypnosis, jimkellnerhypnotist.com/free-hypnosis. What about so now let's back up a little bit. So now you're drinking water, you're exercising, and what else? Are you making different food choices? You eating the same foods? What's going on with that?
So, someone in about 2013, like that was my New Year resolution.
Yeah.
I decided, I had to make a change. And, everybody's talking about the secrets to weight loss, and everybody's asking like, what's the big secret? Well,
yeah.
The big secret is, diet and exercise. I mean, the things they've been telling you forever, right? So,
so funny, yeah.
So that finally clicked on me, and I'm going like, okay, well, I can't keep eating fast food all the time. And so I try to eat healthy. I started eating salads, which, once again, it's like water. It sounds. Favorite thing that I found out was spinach. I love spinach salad. So spinach, put some chicken in there, maybe some beans, some hummus or something like that. And basically that's all I ate for a year. And once that year came over, then I started doing like a cheat day, like once a week or something like that. But eventually, your body gets used to it. And that's so like for the past year during the pandemic, it's been hard to eat healthy, right? I mean, you're stuck at home, and so I'm really not, and I'm not exercising, but I've only gained that I'm the way back up. But the too, though, spinach you got to figure out how your body works. And spinach causes kidney stones, and I ate like a year full of spinach, and I'm prone to kidney stones, so I can't have spinach anymore. So you're not supposed to eat anything green, dark green, which is all the good stuff, all the stuff that help me lose weight. So it's kind of hard to find that balance,
Yeah. Wow. That is interesting. Yeah, I know. I mean, if you follow Kori, and I recommend you follow Kori. I remember, but you're always having kidney stone problems, so that must have been really, really bad with the greens too.
Oh yeah, well I think that's how I figured it out.
So. How did you get them before though? If you weren't eating greens, I guess there's other ways of getting them, huh?
Oh yeah, there's two different kinds of kidney stones, and I'm not sure which one I have. And so depending on which one you have a different diet. And if you're not sure which one you have, basically you can't eat anything. So
yeah.
So anything I eat gives me kidney stones. So. Well, but plus caffeine. Caffeine gives you kidney stones. So
really?
I'm sure 20 years probably didn't help.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No kidding. Wow. No kidding. Hey folks, if you're listening right now, watching right now, I highly advise you go over friend Kori on Facebook, facebook.com/Kori. That's Kori with a K, KORIJUST. And you're going to be able to, great time to introduce his pun of the day. You'll be able to check out his pun of the day. Go back and look at some of them. I'm hoping you're going to put together a book. I really am. I've got a couple of friends that I know. Even my son loves puns. I will buy one immediately. So please put that out. He started doing. Well, tell us about the puns, Kori.
Okay, so it was about a year ago when the pandemic hit, and like I was saying, I lost 5 sources of income. Things were looking really desperate. You go on Facebook and everybody's freaking out, about the world's ending, and I just thought, try to bring some positivity into what's going on, and the best way I can make people happy is by telling dumb jokes, So I did a pun a day till COVID goes away, and I figured it would last 30 days, the lockdown. I mean, COVID would be done in a month or two, right? Well, it's been over a year now, so yeah, and it's harder and harder to come up with puns.
Yeah, we're talking like hundreds and hundreds of puns, and I am both frightened and astonished that you. I mean, really, every single day there's a pun.
Well, and it was funny because I'm not. Did you take that class with? There was a comedy club downtown Seattle. There's about 10 of us. Anyways, so
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, so Rick Overton, he's been on Seinfeld. He's the Drake. Hate the Drake. He's one of the little guys in the movie Willow. He was in Groundhog's Day. John Fugelsang is another comedian that's very popular.
Yeah.
And they were saying, just put a, even if it's a bad joke, trying, you're right. You're keeping the mind going. And so I did that for a little while, but dropped that off. And so when this started up, I'm going, you can't miss a day, especially
Right.
now. So yeah,
Right.
it just keeps me thinking. It keeps me kind of happy trying to come up with a joke.
Yeah.
So,
and that's such a great point too, because, after a show, and probably the same things happen to you after a show or something, people will say, how do I do this? When I was doing stand up, and you've done some stand up too, right?
mm-hmm.
You've done some stand up, right?
Okay. To stand up. Yeah. I had to quit because I couldn't find parking on Capitol Hill, and that's a true story.
I understand. Believe me. That is one of the things, people will ask, how do you write jokes? How do you become funnier and that kind of thing? And really it is about focus. If you start focusing on being funny, stuff just occurs to you more often. And I think you record it more often. I think everybody, or most everybody, has funny thoughts from here and there, but it's actually remembering them, writing them down or putting them in your phone or something. And like you said, if you're focused on a pun a day, and I got to think that, if we go much longer, 2 or 3 years later, I'm sure you could probably keep coming up with something every day, because your brain is looking for the puns. It's looking for it all the time.
And, and that kind of even crosses over to the health too. As far as if you're always looking for something healthy, or you're always looking to, whatever you want to accomplish in life, as long as you keep focused on it, it makes things so much easier.
It really is. Like, I think it's like the most important thing in whatever you want to do is be focused. And I one of the things that frustrates me, and if you're one of these people, please stop doing it. But, I have some friends and even some people that have reached out to me about hypnotherapy, and maybe they want to take off some weight or something. And they're posting pictures of cheesecake all the time, or, different, all these different, this, oh, look at this beautiful burger and things like that. And I'm just thinking, if that's where your focus is, that's what you're going to get more of. That's what you're going to want more of. It really is. And so it'll work in your advantage or your disadvantage. Yeah. And even it's funny in some of these keto groups, I'm in these keto groups, and people will, they want to, I get it. You want to fantasize about it, right? You want to, oh, wow. Can't wait till I can eat this again. Or I remember eating this or something, but man, it's detrimental. I think it really is. The more you think about it, the more you want to jump in, and the more likely you are to jump in.
Right. Yeah.
So how did that work out for you as you were focusing on being healthier? Have you noticed a big trend? Because you said 2013. That's about, what is that? 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
Does your mind still kind of go towards the healthy stuff, or you still find yourself tempted a lot?
Well, so like I said, I got a job at the grocery store, and one of my treats always used to be, getting an apple fritter. That's another one of my kryptonites,
Sure.
And they sell them right there at the store, so so for the first couple months, I just get a fritter on the way home, I haven't eaten and stuff. And, I gained probably like 10 pounds just, and it's funny because I'm an obsessive waiter. I'll weigh myself on the scale a lot, like maybe 5 or 6 times a day. And it's not because I'm worried about how much I weigh, but I just want to see what the trends do, because I'll even weigh myself and go to the bathroom and come back and weigh myself, just, and weigh myself in the morning and all that kind of stuff. And so after doing the fritters, it's just like after a week or two, it's almost like 5 pounds just off these little donuts, just a donut a day, and so you don't even think about it, you cut that out and then it dropped right back down.
Yeah.
Because like when I first started doing this, I love that. Weighed myself and actually started weighing more when I exercised. So, and I talked to a lot of people saying that you'll actually find this out, that you'll actually gain weight before you start to lose weight. So don't freak out. You're in it for the long haul, and that's the way it works. So,
especially I think if you're doing walking, you are building some muscle, but maybe not as much. But when you're doing stairs, you're definitely building muscle, right? Legs and thighs and glutes.
And it's funny because you'll see people there that can barely walk upstairs. Then you'll see them like about 3 or 4 months later, and they're all fit and trim, just running up the stairs. It's great to see other people succeed too.
Nice. That's awesome. And actually, I forgot to mention this. I do love what you said there, because one of the things when you lose weight, people always will ask you, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? Like you discovered the secret, like where did you find it? Was it hidden under a rock? The secret to losing weight? Was it? And and really at its core, it really is, it's, eating less calories and moving more. There are complications. I will say there are complications because for some people, if you have certain metabolic conditions, hormones will really wreck your metabolism. So, when women get past 50, it's a little more challenging. People with diabetes, it might be more challenging, but still, I mean, at its core, you move more, you eat less, you're likely to take some weight off.
Right. But it just wasn't for me. I mean, once I started exercising more, it's like it really didn't matter. I mean, as long as I was eating healthy, I mean, I could eat as much as I wanted to, and I think that to me that was kind of the thing, because it's when I'm bored, I eat. I mean, that happens to a lot of people. Yeah. So if you just find the right thing to eat, then it really doesn't matter. I mean, you can eat all day,
Yeah. And you said something. Oh, actually, before I move on, so how much weight did you take off total?
Okay, so I was about 238 at my height. I'm about 185, but I did get down to like about 268 or something like that. But that's probably even a little too low for me. So, but I couldn't stop doing the stairs. So.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's funny you say it like that too, because you couldn't stop doing stairs. I found that once you kind of get in a rhythm of a lot of these things, whether it's eating healthy or exercise or whatever, a lot of times that becomes a new habit, and you really do actually want to. So if it's difficult to eat spinach, for instance, you go, I don't want to eat spinach. You do it for a month or two, and pretty soon you're going, wow, I can't wait to have my spinach salad later. Right. Or I can't wait to go for my walk or whatever. It becomes a habit just like everything else.
Well, and especially for me, I have an addictive personality, which, in my younger days, it wasn't good for me. It just depends on what you're addicted to. So, yeah. So I got addicted to stairs,
Yeah. I want to applaud you too, because you recognize that. And I think a lot of us, it was funny. I was really smug when this thing started about a month or so in. I mean, I didn't mean to be smug. I didn't mean to, but I was like, what? Why is everybody gaining weight? Why is everybody spending all their time on Netflix? It's a great opportunity to do these other things. And I was walking every day. I was walking more. I was like, well, I'm going to walk more. And I was eating really healthy. And I actually went on Silas, we have a mutual friend, Silas Lindenstein, or Stein. I remember how to say it. Which is it?
I don't know either, but
Linden, whatever. And
he's going to kill us later.
I know, right? I think it's Lindenstein, because I think I say it wrong every time. So I know the right way then would be the wrong way for me. So it'd be Lindenstein. So and check out his podcast, Black and a Half. And it's a really great podcast. And I was on it a couple of times, so check it out. But I was on the podcast, and him and Samantha Rund were talking about, it was about a month into the thing, and they were talking about how they were spending all this time on, watching TV and stuff. And I was just kind of being quiet, because I was like, oh, and I don't want to be that guy. And they go, so what about you, Jim? And I'm like, God, I hate to sound like that guy, but I don't watch TV really. And I've actually been exercising more and eating better. I've got more time and everything. But something happened about a month after that. So I felt bad, because I was like, God, I felt like the smug guy that's like, oh, what a, bunch of losers. It wasn't my feeling at all. I was trying not to, I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, God, I'm sorry, I'm actually losing weight. But I swear, like a month or two down the road, all of a sudden I started gaining weight. And one of the things is I met my current wife, and I don't know, somehow the peer pressure, I guess, kind of got in the way, because she eats everything. She eats everything that she wants to, all the bad stuff, 97 pounds all the time. So what I really want to applaud you on is seeing that you gained 10 pounds. You said nope, and you course corrected immediately. Has that happened other times, or is it just that one time?
I mean, it happens here and there. I mean, because like I said, I ate healthy for the longest time. I mean, like strictly healthy. Now, I've kind of mixed in that. So I have a couple of things that are kryptonite. Like we ended up having a lot of extra milk. So what do you do when you have extra milk? You get Cocoa Pebbles. I mean, come on. There's nothing else.
I mean, of course.
Goes with that, right? And so I realized after a week of like eating that in the morning that it, weigh myself a lot, not to, like I said, to beat myself up or anything, but just to see the trends that happen. Yeah. So And especially now, like, when I do the stairs, or like I said, I haven't done it in a year, just because you're within inches of other people. And yeah, I don't know about this, how safe it is, how not safe it is, or anything else, but we have like an elderly person in my house now, and who's,
Right.
and I just want to make sure. So, so I'm just waiting for the day that, we can go out there and start doing that again. So.
Excellent. Right.
Yeah.
But apparently been doing it. You must be working a lot at your other job. So you're still keeping pretty fit.
Yeah. So I just turned 51. So, and so I'm a night stalker, night stalker at the grocery store. So the person closest to my age is probably, just about 30, and they really push you there. I mean, you don't realize, they time you on how much you throw stuff,
Wow.
and all the bending and kneeling and it's, I'm that old guy now, old guy that, that's like, I'm Big Brother. There's all the young people. There's that one grumpy old guy, that's me now, so, but I mean, I guess it's keeping me in shape. So I do that. I do like real estate photography during the day. So, I mean, houses are still selling, which is bizarre, but yeah, I mean, it's going great. And then, do whatever acting I can on the side. I host some trivia now that the bars are opening up again. So things like that.
Yeah, great. Hey, where could people find you at if they wanted to stalk you? Is it the trivia? Where's the trivia happening?
Yeah, so up in Marysville on Wednesdays at 7:00 at the Village Tap House. So I mean, I just started that one last week, and then pretty soon on Tuesdays it'll be up at the Home Plate in Marysville, another bar. I've been doing it there for a year, but they're waiting until everything opens back up again to start trivia.
Nice. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
awesome.
And it's I don't know if you ever heard of Fish. He was a radio host.
I don't think so.
Sports guy that used to be up here, but he's the one who runs the whole trip. Your sports. Come on.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Fantastic. We totally forgot to do your pun. What was your pun today, Kori?
Okay, so let me see. So I had my pet snake just ate the Easter bunny. Now I have a wild hair up my ass.
They're, I got to tell you, some of them, they really catch me off guard, and they are really, really funny. And many of them are like, oh God, that's just horrible.
Well, and that's the thing. When you do a pun, are you really going for great comedy, or are you going to watch the other people grimace? I mean, it's there's like I said, one of the young kids at work, he's like 20, and he just hates my puns, and it makes me laugh. And he goes, "It's not funny. Why are you laughing at?" I'm like, "I'm laughing at your reaction." I mean, that's what's doing it to me. So,
yeah, I posted something a while back. Like, if a pun is good, is it even good? Is it bad, or is it bad ones are good? So, I think the more
so you can't go wrong with them.
The more a person cringes, I guess, the more successful you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, boy, I'm just excited. I'm kind of excited for the pandemic now to keep going, to just see how long you can go.
Well, I mean, well, here's the thing, though. It's a pun a day till COVID goes away. Well, is it ever going away? I mean, it's kind of like the flu.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know when to end this thing. I guess when people come with pitchforks and torches to my house, but
everybody head to Marysville on trivia night. We will silence him.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're out there and you're listening to this, and I know, because I used to feel the same way. If you think, man, it's tough, when you're and actually, when you're 238 pounds, it can be discouraging. When you're 240, I was 270 at one point. It can be discouraging because you think, wow, I've got to lose 60 pounds, 70 pounds. I have clients that have to lose 100, 200 pounds. I have, clients like that, 300 pounds they got to lose before they're going to be at their ideal weight. There's going to be rewards all along the trip. And I don't know if you remember those rewards, Kori, but I can remember myself, that first 20 pounds, people, even 10 pounds, really, people start going, hey, did you lose weight? You look different. You're going to start feeling better. Your clothes are going to fit better. You'll feel better. You have some more energy. Do you remember any of those things that happened for you, Kori, along the way, that the kind of rewards along the way?
Well, yeah, and then, you're talking about the clothes too. Say, it's hard to believe other people when you're not used to it, but don't worry about the scale so much as how the clothes fit, because the clothes will start not being loose before you actually see any weight loss going. And so I mean that's definitely a reward right there. The fact when I was able to like do these walks without being out of breath, I mean, now I can walk forever without being out of breath. It's insane. I remember like going to the store and I have a cat, and you pick up the 20-pound bag of cat litter, to the checkout stand with it. But now I can throw like 2 over my shoulder or whatever, and just go anywhere I want to. And there's things like that. It's funny because I worked the cruise lines too. That was another job that I had, and there's so people that worked on the ships that would come off. They weren't. One guy's like realized, he's like, wow, it's a lot of weight. How much? And I was like, at that time, I think, oh, it's about 50 pounds. And he's like, well, how many? What do they do? Kilograms? I don't know how the rest of the world.
Oh, right, yeah.
Measures himself. I have no idea.
No idea.
No idea. Yeah, I'm American. Yeah. But I mean, it's things like that. It's just being able to walk. I went floating on the river a couple years ago up in Leavenworth, and just kind of nice to go up there, and take the shirt off and not kind of like look around and see if anybody else is, staring at you, which nobody is, but it's always that self-conscious thing, so sure. It's you build up that confidence too.
I can remember
it feels good. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. You mentioned the taking the shirt off, because I can remember like the very first time that I was able to take my shirt off, and I wasn't in great shape, but I was able to, it was enough that I felt comfortable at the swimming pool, like, whatever, I look fine, Yeah. It was good.
And that's a huge step. I mean, that I don't know if people realize, those people that are skinny all their lives, never think about things like that.
I remember this. I remember this one specific time. Well, I was just I don't know. Were you a fat kid too, or did it come on later? Were you a fat kid too, or did it come on later?
It was kind of both. I think elementary school, I was okay. We moved out to the country, and and there's nothing to do in the country when you're a city boy. Like, go climb a tree. It's like, well, what's the point? So when I was out in the country, I got bigger. Yeah. And it kind of slimmed down right after high school, but then shot back up again. So
yeah. And Kori and I went to school back when I used to make this joke that I went to school back when there were most of the kids were skinny. It was like it was like maybe me and like one other kid in the class, me and Devin. We were the only fat kids. It's not like
it's like when you pass the other kid in the hallway like that, you kind of wave like the motorcycle guys. Yeah.
So I can remember when we divide up for teams, and the coach would say shirts and skins, and I'm just praying, oh God, please, please, I don't want to be on skins. So if you're not familiar with this, Kori's familiar. When they say shirts and skins, that for the boys, if you're out there playing soccer or football or whatever, it's skins. They take off their shirt, and it was humiliating, embarrassing. It was terrible. And I'm writing a book right now, and I'm remembering all these things and going, wow, that really sucked. It was awful. It was awful. The other thing too is I actually remember when I was a teenager, and I lost a bunch of weight when I was a teenager. But before that, I remember jumping into the pool with my T-shirt on, and my friends going, "Dude, you left your T-shirt on." I'm like, "Oh, I forgot to take it off." I hadn't forgotten, I hadn't forgotten at all. I didn't want to. So that's tough. So hey, great, man. You can take your shirt off and feel good about it. Kori, what else do you want to impart to people that maybe out there and they would like to get started or they're having struggle, maybe they're halfway through what kind of tips and what kind of fatherly advice do you have, Kori?
Okay. So no, it's just keep going. I mean, if that's what you want, just keep doing it. And to make a habit, you have to do the same thing for like a week or 3 weeks or something like that. So yeah, just do it every day. Once it becomes a habit, I mean, that's whether it's eating healthy, exercising, or doing whatever, just keep at it. Because I know when I first started walking too, I mean, my shins killed me. I mean, I felt like I had shin splints and things. So I had to figure out ways to exercise that and get them stronger. So I mean, there's ways around everything. And if you can, and this is something that this not working for me, especially with all my jobs right now, is get 8 things like that. You know,
Oh,
because
sleep,
now,
yeah.
yeah, well, because you know, I'll come home, get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, be awake, and then get a couple hours of sleep at night, and then go to work. And the few days that I do have like an 8 hour stretch of sleep, I mean, I'm losing weight during that time. It's funny because, like I said, I'm an obsessive scaler, and that it shows me the trends. And if you sleep 8 hours, it helps. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to try sleeping all day one time, see if that works. Yeah.
You can start your own weight loss program. Just come to my clinic and sleep. You know, I do think that the sleep is probably the single most important thing we can do for our health. It's just we just keep thinking that we can shortchange ourselves on that. We can make up lost hours with sleep, but it's just not a good way to do it, guys. It really isn't.
No.
Not. And like Kori said, I think that, you know, that's when we're rebuilding and stuff, and it really help your weight loss. You know, before we end the show, please do say hi to Dorothy for me. I love her.
Well,
His girlfriend. We've been friends for a long time too. So on every episode, and I forgot to remind you of this, so I don't think I remind you, but I always ask every guest, what are 3 tangible things that my guests can do, I and my guests could do, to live a more awesome life? I'm going to give you a second to think about that, because I want to make an announcement too. Now, if you're listening today, this is Easter, April 4th, 2021. I got a brand new contest starting up, and I don't have the landing page up yet, but you can win. You can actually win a free hypnotherapy session with me, and I'm not cheap, so it's worth about $14 million. Also a coaching session and some products, and also you get to find out more about my grandma. And the reason you'll find out more about my grandma, because she was an avid walker. She walked all the time. So I'll be getting that landing page up today. But in the meantime, mark your calendar or whatever to go to jimkellner.info/grandma. jimkellner.info/grandma. April was her birth month. She would have been 111 years old this month if she were still alive. And it's a way of honoring her. She was a really important person in my life. Kori.
Yes.
3 things that we can do to live a more awesome life, according to Mr. Kori Just.
Okay. So let me, I think positive thinking, like you always say.
Positive thinking.
Positive thinking. I mean, always, for instance, I mean, I hate to bring the show down a little bit, but my niece just passed away about a month ago, unexpectedly, you know, and I was going to officiate her wedding. And then she passed away about a week before that, and about all the things I'm going to miss about her. But then I started to think, you know what? Experience her. You know, I got to be around her. She made me a better person. So, you know, you gotta kind of change that, you know, that thinking, because especially nowadays, there's so many. Yeah. I mean, you got the politics, you got everything else, and everybody's just arguing with each other. Just try to turn every negative into a positive. Yeah. I think that's probably the first thing. Second thing I can think of is, it's a little game I like to play when I'm out in public, is like if I'm in a grocery store or someplace with a cashier, I'll look for the line and I'll see if I can make him smile. You know, and if you make somebody smile that's not happy, I mean, it really does brighten your day. And probably the third thing is listen to more Jim Kellner, because if you listen to Jim Kellner, I mean, how can you go wrong, right?
God, Kori, that is the best one we've had. So we've been hundreds of episodes. That is the best tip that we've had. That is the best tip.
Well, I'll expect the check in the mail here soon. So yeah, thank you.
You know, I love these, and you know, it's so funny. You said that positive thinking thing. Did you have an actual third one, or was that a joke? Did you want to?
Oh well, I mean, that's what do you mean a joke? No, that's true. Come on.
God, I love this man. This man. So, you mentioned this positive thinking, and as soon as you said that, I was thinking, because I actually wrote in the description, I said, you know, tune in. Kori's a great guy with a great attitude, and because I was just thinking about because he has a really positive attitude, and I was thinking I would be hard pressed to remember a single negative thing you've ever really said. I mean, I'm sure there have been things, but really, I can't remember you ever being a downer. I can't remember you ever being in at least visibly in a bad mood, or anything like that.
Well,
It's
I
kind of
can
amazing.
I can remind you of one.
Okay, and
Christmas music.
okay, there is that. There is that.
Yeah.
Or has an aversion to Christmas music, and I have an affinity for it. In fact, I'll go listen to some after this podcast. In fact, if I was a big time producer, my assistant would already be queuing up some Christmas music to take us out of the show with. Damn it.
Yeah.
So positive thinking, very important, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what you said too. If you'll notice what Kori did there, in the business we call that a reframe, but you're spinning the facts. You're taking this situation and you're not spinning the facts, but you're spinning the way people are viewing it. Spin doctors. There's a not the group. I miss them, but there's from the 90s. Remember the spin doctors? But there's actually a profession where they'll take an event and they'll put spin on it and spin, kind of like making something bad sound good. But that really is it. I bet Kori doesn't have a charmed life. Not every day is peaches and cream, right?
We can spend a whole nother show on that. Yeah.
And with successful people in whatever endeavor, it's not that they have it's all just been easy and it's all been like positivity, but it's looking at the other way. What you'll notice what he did was you can focus on the sadness of you're missing this person, or you can remember the good times that you had and what you learned from them and all the positive experiences from someone that passed. What a great attitude, Kori.
Yeah.
Really good.
Thank you.
He also talked about make them smile. I remember when Kori posted this on Facebook, and I tried it for a couple of days and gave up. But it was, he's going out of his ways. He's doing what he can to try to get a smile out of another person. And wow, what a great goal to have. What a great goal. And of course, listening
just as grumpy as them, so yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and they're like, yeah, you're a comrade. And then, then they'll smile.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. That's really a reversal on him, isn't it?
Yeah.
And listen to Jim Kellner, of course, always sage advice right there. So, as I always invite you all to do is don't try to do everything at once, because you're just going to get overwhelmed, but pick one of those things for the next week or two. Just try to have a positive attitude as often as possible. Try to go out and make somebody smile, or listen to Jim Kellner. Any one of those three. Pick one, stick with it till you've mastered it. I'm gonna grab onto this. Make them smile. You know what I have to do is I have to actually write it down somewhere. I have to put it on a sticky note or something. Otherwise, I forget. But I'm gonna do that. That's my goal. Is I'm gonna make somebody smile every day. Somebody I don't know smile every day.
Yeah.
Great goal. If we all did that, man, we'd all be happy.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so funny as I, you resemble your mom so much when you smile. It's like you got the same smile. I don't know if you know, but and I was just reminded when we did the show. This is funny, folks, because I used to be a stand-up. I used to do comedy poorly, and I was trying to be a feature act. I didn't really have enough material. I should have been an MC. 10 minutes, but I did this show in Idaho, and Kori and his family came out, and I remember afterwards, I came out and I everybody was like, oh, they, whatever, good job and everything. And I asked his mom, I said, so what'd you think? And she paused. She goes, well, what did you think? God bless her.
Well, she's a nice Christian lady. So some of these jokes, yeah.
So what did you think? Kori, thank you so much for joining me. I miss you, man. I miss you.
I miss you too.
Yeah. Once this is all over, we'll have to get together. So I'm really grateful that you could join me today. Thank you, Kori.
No, anytime. I thank you for having me.
If you would like to go follow Kori Just, you want to listen to his pun a day. It's facebook.com/Kori with a K and an I, KORIJUST. You can find him there. You can also hire him for acting and improvising work. And
I'll do anything.
He'll do anything. I've seen some of the work he's done.
Yes. I know which one you're talking about too. Yeah.
Apparently, I dodged that bullet because I was in the hospital at the time, and the photographer called the next chubby bald guy in line. Thank you, Adam. Or no, that was Patrick. Patrick,
yeah.
Patrick. Yeah. And then everybody, hey, check out my grandma contest. We're celebrating my grandma this year, this month. JimKellner.info/grandma. And as always, take care, be well, be awesome.